Good evening, guys, and welcome to episode 4 already of the Modern Gaming Podcast with Woody and Noble. It's kind of crazy to think that I've been doing this for almost a month already. I just got back from being out of town for a couple days, and thankfully, hopefully, you guys will notice that I fixed a lot of audio issues that I think I was having with background noise and things like that, thanks to NVIDIA and their new patch with RTX Voice. So if you have an RTX compatible uh, graphics card or anything like that in your PC and you're having similar issues, download it and it fixed all my issues in literally 45 seconds. Super good. But what's going on with you, Woody?
We have a new puppy in the house. My
I
brother got a
saw
dog.
that.
I'm also getting a puppy myself next month.
Is it the one you were trying to get?
I mean, it's not the one I was talking about before, but it is a husky. Yes.
Okay.
I got into a waiting list from a breeder. And funny enough, while we were picking up my brother's dog, I got a call from her,
Oh, sweet.
and yeah, there was one available. So gonna be getting him between the 15th and 20th of next month, and then so I'm gonna be moving my stuff, my entire setup from upstairs to the basement tomorrow actually. So that'll be a long day of moving everything. Um and yeah, I mean, just chilling, waiting for Valorant ranked really.
It should be here hopefully within the next week to 10 days or so. Maybe 2 weeks at the most, but it'll be really interesting to see if they release it before to kind of combat Fortnite's big announcement today and see which one kind of hits first and what kind of impact that's going to have. But we've got a lot to talk about, actually. I mean, we were kind of going through stuff, and I was digging through Twitter even 4 hours ago, and I was like, man, we really don't have much going on. And then I was like, bam, 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 like story after story after story. I was like, all right, we got a full episode here. So I want to start with something that kind of made waves a lot over Twitter and social media, and there's a lot of different layers to this whole thing. But those of you that are familiar with the story will recognize this lovely, not so lovely individual on my screen. So, for those of you that haven't seen it or heard the plea, and I'm not going to give this individual any more attention by putting her handles or names or anything out there because I don't believe that she deserves it. But this individual was captured on her stream, more or less saying that if you can, purchase food and meals and things like that for $20, then you can sub to me for $5. Essentially, almost baiting her viewers into subbing or trying to make them feel guilty for choosing to do other things with their money other than sub to her channel. Even in a normal circumstance where we're in a normal living situation, you shouldn't ever beg for subs. Ever. Like, ever. Like, let me say it again. Throw on top of the fact that we're literally in what has been classified as a global pandemic, and people are literally worried about losing their job if they already haven't, or being furloughed, or having to claim unemployment, and where their money's coming from. And you're sitting in your little bubble where you do your stream, and you're chastising people for not giving you $5 and subbing to your channel. I can't call that anything else other than like a huge amount of just like self-entitlement. Just, it's a slap in the face to the entire community, honestly, from people that literally work so hard to do this the right way, to build a community and have people coming back and put all their effort into legitimately earning those subs and treating their viewers and followers with respect. And then you have somebody like this come on, say something like this, and her channel explodes. And that's probably the part that annoys me more than anything, is that she's gotten so much free PR, all of it bad PR, but it's free PR, and people are literally just going to her channel and throwing money at her now because of a comment that shouldn't be rewarded this way, but it is. So,
well, publicity is publicity. Happened the same thing. Alenity before, when she threw her cat.
Yeah, literally
Um,
when SPCA got involved in that.
yeah, like publicity is publicity, whatever, if it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. And I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you, like there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that I see on Twitch that I question myself every day. Like, how do they have the viewership that they have?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, like, if people are willing to sub to that, I don't know, man. Let it be. Like, I mean, I don't. That exactly what Jay Money just said. Like, literally, if people are dumb enough to follow and to watch that and to sub to somebody that acts like that, I got nothing, man. I got nothing. It is what it is.
I can respect an individual for having a niche, right? Like I can respect Dr. Disrespect for at least just being who he is, right? And
Yeah,
being
obviously he's
forthcoming.
not that in real life. Obviously,
Exactly, right? For
you know.
being that persona online and at cons and things like that, and whatever PR he's going to get, it's at least him, right? Who he portrays himself to be on his stream.
Mm.
What she did to me isn't even close to the same thing. And
No, it's not.
I
No.
haven't personally been able to stream in 8 months, but without even going to her channel, I bet she's got more subs than I'd be able to get in a year when I come back. And
Mm.
that would honestly annoy me if literally all I had to do was just sit on stream, hit go live, and just bash everybody who watches me to get 10,000 people to come to my stream, and they could all tell me that I'm worthless, that I shouldn't have said that, I'm a despicable person, blah blah blah. But you're still there. Like I get it, right? Like I don't care what you think of me. If you're still sitting here on my stream giving me views, telling me that you don't care about me, like you're helping push me to partner
Mm.
to come voice your opinion.
All I can tell you is that, speaking from experience, like, worrying about other people's numbers, where you compare to other people, um, and where they're at, like how many subs they have, blah blah blah. I don't know. It's obviously, like, are there people on Twitch that I think like have more subs than me that I think they shouldn't? Of course.
Mhm.
I'd be lying if I told you not. I'm not going
It's
to be
human
that.
nature to
I'm not,
compare yourself to
yeah, like,
others.
it's like obviously you want everyone to have success, but it's like, I want to be better than you. I'm sorry. Like, it's a competitive thing. Um, but I don't know. Like, I try not to focus on, you know, what other people have, because it really, when you start to do that, then you just kind of like, you lose the enjoyment of
Right.
streaming to a certain extent, because like, once you start to focus on that, you'll just be sitting there streaming when you have like, you know, maybe some like dead air time, nothing's really happening. You just kind of sit there and you're just like, well, that person has this much money, it's getting this many subs, this many viewers for being a dick. And then you're just like, well, what's the point? You know?
Yeah, and I'm sure
Been
every
there. I feel like every person will be there at some point.
Mhm.
Every person will.
Yeah, even if
Yeah.
even if you say that you didn't you're not in it for the money, you didn't start it for the money, like eventually
I think it's very dumb when people like, you shouldn't get into streaming for the money.
no, not in
Very clear.
2020. You
Keep
shouldn't.
it very, very clear. Like, you should not get into streaming for money.
That ship sailed like
However,
6 years ago.
yeah, like, however, like, when people say you shouldn't care about money, I think that's idiotic. Like, you should care about money. You should absolutely, like,
Right.
especially if it's your job. Like, I care about how much revenue I'm getting, because I kind of need, like, it's my income. Like,
Mhm.
duh. Like, just how, same thing as you care about how much money your job.
Yep.
So do,
It's no
you
different.
know. So it's like, do I care about my sub count? Absolutely. Do I beg for subs? No.
Nope.
Because if people aren't, that means I'm probably not giving them something that's worth subbing for.
Right.
You know.
And that's where I think a lot of
So,
people just lose it. Like And I mean, there were people that just laid into her like over and over and over again. And eventually, you know, what you're saying comes back to be like, how much of your energy are you going to focus into bashing this person that you don't know, whose stream you're never going to watch, whose viewpoint you obviously don't agree with, like I don't, um,
Mhm.
versus taking that time and energy and effort to fixing your own content, or, you know, reaching out to, you know, networking and saying, hey, would you mind watching, you know, 10 minutes of this VOD and let me know what you think. And just
Mhm.
get unsolicited advice from people you don't know, right? Because
Yep.
um, random people are going to give you, if you're that type of person who's willing to accept it. Now, if you're somebody who just wants to, you only want to hear what you want to hear to make yourself feel better, then don't do that. Number one. Number two, you're probably not going to grow as quickly because you're looking for somebody to pat you on the back and say it's going to be okay, as opposed to people that are genuinely going to help you grow your channel. But it's I don't know, it's just one of those things that obviously it's gone viral. It's all over the internet, not only on Twitter, but, you know, every form of social media. And I think I even saw like it hit major um websites and publications like Game Ran. I think it might have even hit like IGN, Reddit, and things like that. So
Mhm.
but yeah, you know, if, you know, at the end of the day, if she can maintain the success, and as J Money alluded to in your chat, have to pay the taxes, and she can go to sleep and wake
I
up
mean,
every
it is
day
what it
knowing that
is.
that's what she does, then it is what it
I
is,
mean,
right?
it's like, you know, to be I can't. It's not. It's not a problem with the streamer for me. It's really not. Like even when people like they create questionable content. We'll put it that way. Questionable content that maybe should not be on Twitch. You know. Um. I don't have anything personal like against um the streamer themselves like at all. It's my question is always, how the fuck are people watching this? Why are people watching this? Why are they subbing to it? Like, it's not like I'm not questioning, okay, why is this person like producing this content? Because they're gonna keep producing the content if
No
people
matter
are freaking watching it. Like, it's you don't question the streamer, you question the people watching. And if the people watching just continue to do so, I mean, what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna
No,
do
it's
about it?
true.
You know? But I mean, like J Money said though, like as a streamer, it absolutely can mess with your head to compare yourself to others in communities and stuff like that. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing though to do it. You just have to take the right approach to it though. Like
Right. It's
comparing
a very
yourself
it's
to
a very
others,
fine line
you
if
know,
you're gonna take that leap
yeah.
and go
Like
that way about it.
even for me, like I'm just gonna be straight up. Like the amount of money that I make slash have made for my size of a streamer on Twitch is 100% like not the norm. Um, at least when I like that's what I've been told. I've even had people from Twitch email me about it before when I had a couple months before, like last year, uh, even like the month of July when Jordan came in, dropped like 100 subs. I had a lot of other people donate for TwitchCon as well.
Mhm.
Like I even got an email on Twitch from them and was like, they're like, hey, what you doing over here? You know, literally, and it like you'll see it. You'll see it all over. Like people that have 100 viewers, like people's donation levels and whatever it can be, like they're all over the place for the most part. Like I feel like comparing, especially when it comes to money, if you're comparing yourself to somebody in terms of money, that's when you lose it. Like if you compare yourself in terms of like quality of content, that's totally fine in my eyes because like you can control the quality of your content. You know,
Right.
like if you want to compare yourself to somebody else in terms of audio, fine. That's total. Like I suggest that.
Mhm.
You know, you want to be up to par with audio and stuff like that. You want to be, uh, but you can't be like in your head. You can't like look at somebody else and be like, oh, they have 200 subs. well, I should be at 200 subs, and then you can't just like go quick. You can't click go live and then just be like, all right, guys, sub to me.
Right.
Like that's not how it's gonna work. Like you can't like there really is no way to just naturally grow a sub count. There's no like business way, like, definition to do it, because if there was, people would do it all the time.
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah,
just kind of like,
there's no blueprint to follow.
yeah, there's no blueprint to follow. There's no blueprint to get viewers. There's no blueprint to get a sub count. I mean, like, obviously there's things that you can do. You can have consistent content and stuff like that, like, um, and that kind of thing. But you know, you can't control what people think of you. You can control the content you put out, but
Right. And I mean, once you hit a certain
Yeah.
threshold, you're not going to please everybody all the time.
right,
No matter what you're playing, people are going to, you just got to block all that out. And as long as you're happy with what you do at the end of the day, then that's really all that matters.
right.
Honestly. Speaking of being happy with, content, things like that, did you have a chance to check out any of the charity stream yesterday?
I did. I watched a bit of the Uno. That was a blast. God, it was so hilarious.
I'll be honest, I
was funny.
watched every minute of it. I watched
I
all
wa-
12 I watched all 12 hours
Really?
from the minute that he went live until they were done playing Drunk Uno, until the ending video that he did. And for those of you that don't know and that aren't familiar with this logo, it's the logo of Courage JD stream. He did a Courageous versus Coronavirus 12-hour charity stream. Recently lost his grandmother to COVID-19 and wanted to do something that could raise a lot of money and awareness. And all the money went to the CDC COVID-19 research fund to try to help develop a vaccine for the virus. But literally from the first minute all the way through, I mean, it was 12 hours of, I think, what Twitch and I shouldn't say Twitch because obviously he streams on YouTube, but like the streaming community in general needed something like that to happen.
Yeah.
Started out with Warzone. He had a whole bunch of incentive goals and everything like that. I think he hit his original goal was 250K, and I think he hit that in like 3 hours.
He doubled it. Yeah.
He like shaved his beard, shaved his mustache, like ate pineapple pizza, which apparently he thinks is disgusting.
Because it is.
And agreed. Yeah, pineapple is not on the pizza. Just sidebar there. Yeah, it's completely gross. I agree with Uncle Jack on that one. And just so many other different things. I was actually worried at one point because the Blizzard servers crashed.
Yeah.
And it was like the wild queue all over again, like Nadeshot and then we're saying like, oh, it's going to take me 43 minutes to get back in. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And Nadeshot was pretty vocal about it. He's like, great, the one day somebody tries to have a charity stream for coronavirus, Blizzard servers crash. And I kind of assumed that it was people maybe trying to like mass log on and try to like stream snipe him.
Probably.
But they didn't run into any cheaters yesterday or anything like that. I think Mountain Dew Game Fuel, they put up 5K per win, and I think they won. I know they won at least 4 games. They might have won 5. But it was honestly just 12 hours of good, honest, wholesome fun. A bunch of people put together, happy birthday videos and condolence messages for, Jack and his family about his grandma and everything like that. And it was so nice and refreshing to see a lot of, not only his friends and obviously big names in the community and things like that come out and support him. And it was just a blast to watch. I had never watched a Courage stream before yesterday. Honestly, never
Really?
never on Twitch, never on YouTube. Yesterday was literally my first time sitting down and watching him. And I've seen YouTube videos that he's done. But I mean, I'm sure, not only speaking for myself, he made a fan out of me, but I'm sure he made tens of thousands of, people happy and people that are going to come back and just enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
over and over and over again. I think ultimately they raised, like you said, double. I think the final number is a little over
It was
503,000,
yeah, yeah.
um, which was just nuts. They went from Warzone. They did the Travis Scott Fortnite event, which they were all getting super hyped about. Um, Drunk Uno at the end, like I mean, like Ninja and Tim and Jordan and Nadeshot and so many other people that just jumped in and played. And I think Lupo was in on the Fortnite event, and it was a really, really cool thing to sit down and witness and get to watch all day.
Yeah, I mean, I met Jack at TwitchCon last year, and seriously, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Truly, like, very genuine, um, and like he definitely remembers people too. That's the other thing. Like this, it's kind of a rare thing with people. And it's a lot of streamers are like that too. You know, Tim was the same way. Like Tim knew me when I walked up to him, which was wild. Just because you know how many people that um you know they see and meet every single day, right?
Right.
But I mean, like, they know you, they recognize you, they're super genuine. Um, like all day yesterday, you'll see them post. Like you saw everybody post about Jack's stream, trying to get as many people there as possible.
Mhm.
There are even plenty of people that took all the donos that they made on stream yesterday and put it towards it as well. Like I know Jordan did that. Um, and like, yeah,
Yeah,
Drunk Uno's by
it
far
almost
the
felt
funniest
like
thing to watch too.
it was. Yeah.
It's so funny.
The I think the comment that hit me the hardest, only because I related to it the most, um, was when he roasted Tim for having premarital sex and having a baby, and Jack's like, "I'm saving myself. I died." Like 11 o'clock at night, I'm just sitting in a chair and I busted out laughing. Both my wife and my mother-in-law turned to me like, "What's so funny?" I was like, "Nothing. Don't worry about it. I
Uh,
died." It was the funniest thing. Um, yeah, I mean, they were even like there was even a point where like toward the end of I think during the last game of Drunk Uno, where like Marcel was trying to donate 3 grand, and then Tim's roasting Marcel because he didn't want to use his business account. He didn't have a credit card. He had all his money on PayPal. And Tim's like, or because Marcel said something about, well, my accountants will be, all over me asking these questions. And Tim's like, then get a new accountant, stupid. It's like, oh my, I was like, this poor man just wants to pay with PayPal. And then he PayPal's Ninja 3K so Ninja can make the dono. And then Marcel got confused and thought that he had to give him another 3K, and Ninja's like, I already made the donation, just give me $3,000. I'm like, this is nuts. But yeah, it was
oh, I love those guys. They're so
it
hilarious.
was it was a lot of fun. I would recommend Jack's channel to anybody after yesterday. Not just
Yeah.
for the charity stream. I think Lupo was one of the people that said it best, that he used his channel and his platform and everything that he has, done to build what he has. He used it for the best possible cause he could have yesterday. And literally that $500,000 is going to go toward a ton of research, and literally every dollar count. And Jack read thousands of donations. Like, I mean, he was reading donations that were literally, like, he meant every dollar counted. He was reading comments off of donations that were $1. He had alerts set up for ones that were 500 and up, but I mean, literally, he was shouting everybody out that he possibly could. So, you could tell that it meant the world to him, and just the entire streaming community in general. But moving into our third topic, you've got a little bit of fun coming up tomorrow, hopefully, and this weekend. Hopefully, if it goes well enough tomorrow, you are entering your first Valorant tournament this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, if it happens, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I'm gonna check again, but like, I have not seen them post the official start times. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But regardless, I mean, if it happens, it happens. I'll be excited to play. It's not like this is the only tournament that'll happen either. There are
Right.
plenty, you know.
Especially when
Um,
ranked kicks off.
yeah, rank's gonna kick off. There's people running tournaments all the time, and you know, there's a few websites that like. Actually, wait, I think they posted it. About an hour ish ago.
Like game battles would be like a perfect setup for something like this. Like you just make your team go on and be like, hey, do you want to scrim best of 3? Boom, match. You don't even have to worry about people cheating or anything because it's literally built in.
Yeah.
And it's not like 10 years ago back in the day when you were doing Halo 3 game battles and nobody recorded video. Like literally everybody streams now. So you have plenty of POVs. But I mean, I know I'll be watching you guys tomorrow. Who is the 5 again? Who did you guys decide on?
It's me, Wubs, Shazam, Brass, and Devin.
Okay. Have you guys decided like what agents you're playing, or are you guys going to talk about that tomorrow? I mean, I assume you're running Viper. I would imagine.
Yeah. I think Wubs is gonna be on Sage. I'll be on Viper. Devin's gonna be playing Jet. I'm pretty sure Shazam is gonna be running Brimstone, and Brass. I think. I'm not sure. I think he was playing Breach last night a little bit, but he said he didn't like it. So he might run Sova. I don't know. Brass is probably the one I really don't know. I think the other 4 of those. I'm pretty
That's
sure,
interesting.
Like,
No
pretty
Omen,
so.
no Cypher, maybe Sova ?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm interested to see in kind of like just a tournament mindset, that isn't like top level, prospective pros or anything like that. Like what other people take into a tournament mindset. Yeah. Because the interesting thing,
I'm interested to see what other people run.
The biggest dynamic difference between this game and a game like Overwatch that Valorant kind of gets compared to is that once you select a hero, there's no swapping. Like you're locked in for the entire game. It's not like Overwatch where you could literally swap every life. Hell, you could swap in between, like during a life. Like if you capture a point, you could swap and then go to the next point.
Right.
And who knows if that's something that Riot's looking into. Like, do we let them swap when it switches from?
I don't think that'd be a good idea. To be honest,
I don't either.
Because there would be I don't know. There'd be really defense heavy comps. I feel like that would make defense even more OP than it already is. I think if you did that.
Yeah, you'd have to make some. You would either have the only way I think it would work in a game like this is if you'd have to give the team a number. You'd have to give like the team like 2 swaps for a whole match or a swap for a whole match. Something like it'd have to be so minuscule to where it's like, is it even worth it kind of thing? But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm genuinely interested. I'm definitely going to be watching you guys. Hopefully you guys can kill it, win some matches, maybe win the whole thing.
Supposedly our first game tomorrow is at 12 p.m. EST.
How many teams are in it, do you know?
Let me check. I don't think there's very many.
Is it only supposed to be? Is it a 1-day deal?
No, it's 2 days actually.
Okay.
It's let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there only 5? There might just only be 5, to be honest.
Well, there's only 5 teams. I can't imagine it taking 2 days though.
Yeah, there's only 5 teams. No, I think what they're doing is like tomorrow is just like pool play.
Okay.
And then
Sunday will be like the bracket style.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. I wish you guys the best of luck. I think, you guys definitely have some talented players that can definitely make some noise and do some damage, and hopefully you guys will be able to take the whole thing down.
I think it'll be fun.
I think we talked briefly on a previous episode. You said you've played Horizon Zero Dawn, right? And you liked it?
Yeah.
So I read an announcement today that not only will there be a sequel that Sony confirmed, but they're looking to make it into a trilogy. And the sequel will definitely be pushed back to the PS5. However, it'll be, if you can even picture this, it'll be a larger world than the first game with all the DLC included. It'll be more open world than the first game, which I thought the first game gave you a lot of freedom.
I would say the first game is already a pretty open world.
Like I remember walking into areas that I was like under leveled by 15. I was like, oh, gotta go back. I'm not ready for this yet. But more open world than the first game, and they talked co-op, which I thought to be very interesting, considering it was a solo protagonist game the first time for the most part. So I don't know if they're looking to give some of the NPCs that Aloy met along the way, or if they're going to give you like a mech dinosaur of your own. It's kind of like a pet, and that's who a player can control, something like that. But I was already geeked at the idea of there being a sequel, but now that you're telling me it's going to be a bigger game, I'm going to have more control over where I go, and potentially co-op, how that integrates. I don't think you need it.
I'll buy the PS5 literally just for that game.
I think that announcement is enough to move consoles alone. If you played the first one, even if you didn't play the first one, what are you doing? First of all, go play it.
Yeah, seriously.
Like we all have a ton of time on our hands. Please go play it. Yeah. If you're not going to play it on PS4 when the PC port launches, I think in July or the summer, play it on PC. It's an amazing game. Because I'm probably going to play it again. But,
I will when it releases on PC. Absolutely.
But yeah, that announcement I read and all the details and everything, I was like, this is super exciting. They didn't give a release date or any type of target or anything like that for when the second game might come out, other than it's going to be a PS5 title. I highly doubt it'll be a launch title, because the first game, I think, came out in 2016, I want to say. So we're somewhere right around like 4 years. If you look at similar timelines that Sony has with their AAA studio partners and things like that, normally that's very much on the low end of how long it takes them to produce a sequel. You look at like how much time it took Naughty Dog to go from Uncharted 3 to 4. It's taken them 7 years plus, close to 7 years for The Last of Us Part 2. The new God of War. I mean, I know they switched studios to Santa Monica, but still, we waited 5+ years for a new God of War. So we're probably, my guess would be like holiday 2021 at the absolute earliest, because that'd be 5.5 years. But exciting nonetheless. It'll be interesting to see kind of what else they're looking to do, and what other announcements they come out with, because I'm sure in a sequel they'll have new weapons, new monsters, new worlds. She'll probably have new movement mechanics, if you can imagine that. It'll be amazing. Whenever it comes out, it'll be a fantastic game. Literally instant day one, pre-order, download, and I'll play the hell out of it for sure.
Yeah, easy.
We know that Valorant Ranked is kind of sitting somewhere in the atmosphere, right? They've announced it. We know it's coming in the beta. We just don't know when. Epic announced today that the FNCS Invitational will kick off on May 2nd. So it's like 8 or 9 days from now. I'm curious, number one, to see if Valorant, as a response, if they're ready to launch it. Obviously, I think their best bet would be to launch it before May 2nd to go live with Ranked.
Yeah, I think Ranked will be live next week.
Worst case scenario for them, I think you launch it the same day and you make people choose.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think it matters. Truly. I mean, I really don't think Valorant needs to respond in any way. I don't think it matters. They're kind of in the driver's seat here. I feel like people that are still going to play Fortnite, they're going to play Fortnite. I feel like people have already made that transition to Valorant if they're playing Valorant from Fortnite. You know?
I could see some people going back though for the invitational if they're going to be like maybe not for the open qualifiers if you don't have to, and I've got that pulled up here that you know, May 2nd starts the open qualifier for all regions other than the Middle East. And then they've got several open sessions and things like that. If I remember correctly, it was like the top 100 players in like 4 or 5 different categories, like console, PC, FNCS Season 1 players, FNCS Season 10 in Fortnite, and then no more than 100 invite only from Epic themselves. So I think it was going to be 500 people, all solos. They were redoing the scoring system from previous iterations. And they've got the new scoring system here. You get 4 points per elim, I think, instead of 3 is what it usually is.
Yeah.
You start getting points from 75th place up. Victory royales are worth 33 points and goes down from there. You start getting double-digit points once you hit the top 10. Tiebreakers determined by total points scored, total wins, average elims, average placement, total time survived across all matches, which I think is interesting. And then if it comes to it, they'll literally just flip a coin. If it literally comes down to the last one. But the numbers that says event organizers will invite select players directly to week 1 based on the following criteria. So top 100 from Chapter 2 Season 2, FNCS finals from PC, from console and mobile, so it's literally all platforms again. Top 100 from Chapter 2 Season 1, top 100 from Season 10, and then the direct invites at Epic's sole discretion. And then they've got open qualifiers, other week 2 advancements, and then the grand finals. Even the week 1 prizes for North America, East gets significantly more money than the West.
Which they always have.
So first in the East gets 10K versus 3,500 out West. Europe, it looks like, is going to get the most. Their first place week 1 winner gets 15K.
Yeah, it's mainly just based on player base, how many people play in each region.
Yeah, week 2 it jumps to 25K in the East, and it's going to go up from there. The grand finals prize, it's 100K in the East, 40K in the West, in the US. So there's definitely some big money. I think they said $2 million in total is going to be given out. So definitely going to be exciting for if you're a Fortnite player to get out there, especially on the heels of the Travis Scott concert. And then you throw this on there, so it might be, Fortnite trying to take their one last hurrah since there won't be a World Cup or anything this year. From the article that I read, this is kind of their substitute for that, in the shape that the game is currently in, with it being online only. And the servers have been struggling with, frame rate and ping and everything else. I don't know how this is going to go over, but, for their sake, hopefully it goes, it goes okay for them. But we'll see. Do you plan on playing it at all?
No.
Not even like the open qualifiers or anything. You're just skipping all together.
Yeah. Listen, they haven't fixed anything. They haven't fixed their servers.
I agree. They just announced this with no patchwork.
They haven't fixed bugs. They haven't done what they actually need to do to bring people back to the game. Like, adding more events is fun and all, it's cool, but it's not going to be enjoyable when you have people DC from a game every other game. In the games they don't DC, they're going to have shots blanking, yada yada, things that have been happening for months. Like, that should be their focus before just putting out $2 million for another tournament. And until they fix this stuff, I ain't doing anything with them, because it's so frustrating to play when you have the game take opportunities from you consistently without anything being done about it. I would want to play. Like if they, if they came out tomorrow, it was like, hey, we fixed bugs and stuff, and they actually put out patch notes on what they fixed and everything, I play it, sure. But until they do that, I ain't doing shit.
Yeah. And you're 100% right. Like this is a very, very fine line that Epic is walking, because this could be great, right? I mean, the Invitational could be great, bring a lot of attention to the game.
Oh, it's going to get attention. It's going to get attention. People are going to play it because there's $2 million.
But if the game is still plagued with the same issues, the closer it gets to the grand final, especially like Epic's nightmare and what they should be concerned with is if the grand final is plagued with bugs, number one, you're obviously going to have everybody who follows the Invitational doubt that whoever wins didn't deserve it, because it's going to be connection based, right? Mm-hmm. Secondly is if this whole thing goes off and they can't, or they don't patch the game, is that the final nail in the coffin for Fortnite? Like, is there anything that they could do if this event fails to save the game?
Throw another event with $2 million, which is exactly what they'll do.
But to your point, I mean, if they don't patch the game,
doesn't matter. If they keep running tournaments with money, it's not going to matter. Which is unfortunate, but it's just the way it is.
So here is...
I mean, the top players are going to continue to play. It's the most difficult for people that are trying to get into it or practice enough to get to play at a high level. That's the people that get screwed in this situation, mostly. But the top players are going to continue to play no matter what, as long as there's money.
Yeah, I mean, Tfue and people like that, they'll be all over it, right? I mean, because it's, I mean, North America East, I mean, if you win every week, I mean, you're bagging close to 200K.
Yeah.
If you can win every qualifying round and everything like that. But so this, well, actually, I was literally just scrolling through Twitter. This will be our first breaking news announcement of our podcast. And I'm pretty sure I already know we were going to go with this. And I'm just going to go on record and say that absolutely nothing will happen. Twitch won't do anything. There'll be no ban put in place. Nothing. But there are a couple people on my timeline that have retweeted that Alinity, surprise, surprise, everybody's favorite cat throwing streamer, flashed her stream, quote unquote, on accident. Looks like she's appearing to like adjust her dress or something like that, and exposes herself.
This is on Twitter?
It's on Twitter, yes. Somebody's already predicted it. Alinity throws cats on stream, no ban. Flashes boobs on stream, no ban. And it would not surprise me at all. I think she's literally got 1 million lives. I don't think
yeah, I mean,
I don't think it'll matter. Twitch has painted themselves into this.
No, okay, here's the thing though. I actually just read a tweet that I kind of agree with. This guy said, if they ban Alinity for the nip slip, I'm dead ass gonna be mad. How is Twitch more tolerant of a kitty being thrown instead of some titties being shown? Outrageous. I kind of agree. Like,
it is kind of like a backwards way of thinking, but yeah, I mean, how are you going to promote?
How are they more tolerant of her literally
animal abuse
a cat across the room than her just showing her moves? Like,
yeah,
I kind of agree. It would be pretty funny.
And I'm sure within the next 24 hours, every raging male streamer with no viewers and has no content or anything like that will come out and it'll just re-spark the never-ending booby streamer argument that they pull more views and blah, 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 blah on the topic that's been beat over the head 1 million times. But okay, yeah, I just
saw the. Did you actually see the clip?
Yeah, that's how it literally popped up on my timeline.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I would actually find it dumb if she got banned.
Like, I haven't played the audio, so I don't know like what she says, if she's like, "Oh, my bad," or
I didn't play the audio either. I would actually find it dumb if she got banned for that.
And obviously, this is like we're talking about like a 4-second clip here, guys. So
not even like literally, it's a nip slip for like a half a second. Not even.
So, obviously there's no context before. We don't know like what her reaction is after. We're literally looking at this little this little snippet of this incident. So
if she got banned over it, that'd actually be kind of dumb. Honestly. I think Twitch would actually get more heat for banning her than not banning her. To be real with you.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting, honestly, to see what they do.
I highly doubt they'd even acknowledge it.
They probably won't.
I mean, I wouldn't personally. If I worked for Twitch, I wouldn't acknowledge it. I'd just be
somebody
like,
posted. Oh, just never mind. I thought that was like something from Twitch, but it's just somebody like flaming Twitch for their inconsistencies. But I'm not going to get into. Not going to get into all of that, but yeah, it's going to. People are going to come out of the woodwork. They are.
It's they're like the TOS is a suggestion, to be honest, because like it's suggestion and then they base it on who are you. That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
If they did anything, it'd be a suspension of maybe a week. I wouldn't even say that, Phantom. I wouldn't even say that. I doubt they do anything.
No, there was a I remember reading an article probably 4 or 5 months ago and I saw the same thing. It was because Game Rant, the news publication, posted an article about it, and there was a woman that flashed her lower region on accident. She was like on the ground playing with her dog and exposed herself, and I think she got a 3-day ban. And that was it.
Well, no, that was wait, unless you're talking about a different one.
Yeah, Phantom Eagle in your chat. One Amaranth. Oh, they suspended for a month. I didn't think it was that one. But that's who I was talking about. I couldn't think of her name. But
well, I'm pretty. She had multiple offenses though beforehand.
Yeah, and that's all discretionary by Twitch, like based on what you're. Because I mean, obviously, Alinity's been in social media for a bunch of different things, but if they're all different, like how does Twitch view them? Is it an umbrella of negative like flags against your account, or is it like, oh, this goes in the animal bucket, this goes in the nudity bucket, this goes in the
I don't know. I think it would be. I kind of agree with the guy though. I think it would be very stupid to see her get banned and or suspended for this.
Well, I mean,
when she literally threw a cat and didn't get anything.
And it's sad. I would like to think that Twitch has
like
morals as a company and things like that, but how many people are going to come to her stream tomorrow? I mean, legitimately think about it.
Yeah, I mean that clip is going to go viral. There's going to be a bunch of people that are going to. Yeah, she averages thousands of viewers every day. Yeah,
there'll be triple easy.
Twitch has made her a career in a way.
What's in I think people would be foolish to think that Twitch is just going to take that ad revenue out of their pocket.
Yeah,
because now they might eventually, like they might once her numbers go back down, but I mean they're certainly thinking about it as a business. I mean they've already proven that they don't enforce their TOS. If it was something that they had been consistent on,
a lot of money.
Oh yeah, 100%. If they had been consistent on it from the beginning to say, look, we don't tolerate this kind of stuff, it's going to be consistent across the board, regardless of who you are, if you do this, you get this punishment. Completely different conversation. But since they don't do that, it leaves it up to
Keemstar does help too. Yes,
it leaves it up to interpretation. And like you and I have said, we wouldn't be surprised if Twitch did nothing.
I think it's smarter for them to do nothing.
I'd be more shocked if they did suspend her. If I woke up tomorrow and people on Twitter were like, oh, Alinity finally got suspended or banned or whatever, I'd be shocked. Ban, 100% not going to happen. They're not going to ban her.
No, there's no way.
She'll get, if she gets a suspension, it'll be less than a week and she'll be back still with increased views, because all that's going to do is just ramp up.
It's gotta get her clout, yeah.
100% it will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I literally had just opened Twitter and I was like, oh, that's
I
interesting.
just think it's funny. Like, what's more morally wrong? Throwing a cat across the room or showing your boob for like 2 seconds? Not even.
No, agreed. This wasn't planned, and I didn't shoot you a text or anything about it, but I figured that you'd probably be okay with it. Given the fact that it is our good buddy Jordan Fisher's 26th birthday today, what is your best story, memory, anything that you have in the time that you've known Jordan?
I mean, I feel like mine's kind of obvious. A little bit. I mean, I wouldn't be here streaming if it wasn't for him. And like him getting me the computer is wild. But I'll just save that one. And I'll say a small funny one because I don't think I saw so I was at TwitchCon. Okay, I'm just gonna anyway, so I was at TwitchCon. And I was at the meet and greet section, and at that moment in time I was talking with Alexia. And then Tim, because Tim had a meet and greet at the same time. I was talking with Alexia. And then Jordan actually rolled up. It was Tim, Jordan, Brooke, because Brooke had a meet and greet at that time too. Like Tim, Jordan, Brooke, and Symphony. They all rolled up like together. And so when I was done talking to Alexia, Jordan was he was just like hanging out behind Tim's like setup thing, whatever you want to call it. And he called me over, and so I went and talked with him for a bit, and then Sim actually spilled his iced coffee on Jordan.
Oh man. Like before Jordan's meet and greet?
Yeah. Like, but when I was walking up, like Sim went to go, because Brooke went to go start her meet and greet, and then like when Sim was walking away with her, he like tripped and spilled his iced coffee on Jordan.
Rip. Man,
that was hilarious.
It's brutal. So I've got two. One will be the literally the day that I met Jordan. I had actually gotten out of work early, so I texted Wyoming. This was like 2:30 in the morning. I was like, "Hey, I got off work early. Do you just want to get on and play Overwatch?" And he had just started playing on PC, so we were grinding his account to 25 so he could play comp. And no joke, at like 3:30 in the morning Eastern, we're just running quick play because Jordan had just started playing the game. I think he was like level 6, right? So he's just grinding quick play, and he's the only other person in voice chat. So Andrew and I are talking to him, this and that, and he's like, "Guys, I'm literally brand new to the game." And Wyoming's like, "Okay, hey, no problem. I'll like, who do you want to play?" And he's like, "I don't know. I've been messing around with some people. Like, I'll play Roadhog." He's like, "Okay, I'll play this tank." And then Wyoming like hypes me up a little bit. He's like, "This guy right here is literally like best Moira NA. He's gonna heal you, and you're not gonna die." So I texted him because I'm like, "Oh yeah, hi, I'm okay. I'm like decent." And I'm like, "Dude, really? Like, I'm not gonna die. Like, come on, like." He's gonna die eventually, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, not knowing who he was, I'm like, he's brand new to the game. Like, I can't keep him alive forever. And I was like, well, I'm gonna do what I can. I mean, I was like, Wyoming plays a lot of Roadhog, so we were on We were on Hollywood. In a quick play, we were attacking, and Wyoming's trying to like walk him through the mechanics of it. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to leave you. I'm like, no matter what happens, what you do, I'm just going to tell you to go in, back out, and I'm going to do the best I can to keep you alive. So we go through, we like bulldoze the first point, get onto the second point, and he's like, I got my ult, what do I do? And I think Wyoming was playing Zarya. He's like, I'm going to ult, you're going to press Q, and you're going to kill him. And Jordan's like, but wait, if I rush all of them, aren't I going to die? And he's like, it's like, Mark's got his ult, you're going to be fine. And I was like, you're going to be fine. Just press Q and hold W. So Wyoming grabs, Jordan presses Q, and I throw an orb, like a second worth of spray, and I ult, and I just pocket him through a 5-man, and he comes out the other end, and he's just like, oh my God. And Wyoming's like, with his laugh and everything, like, I told you we got you, and he didn't die the entire game. And I was like, oh my God. Like, he actually didn't die. And we teamed up. Still had no idea who he was at this point. Just thought it was some random guy, like, hey, get hype, let's help this guy out. Get into the next game. Immediately, somebody in the chat messages like, was that the real Jordan Fisher? And like, real Jordan Fisher?
Like, wait, who are you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, who are you? So, and then somebody else is like, wait, like Disney's Jordan Fisher? I'm like, dude.
Like, dude, hold up.
I'm like, are you the real Jordan Fisher? I'm like, who is Jordan Fisher? I'm like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I've just never heard of you.
I mean, I didn't know.
So
I knew who Jordan was for like well over a year, especially because he played with, with Ninja and Tim all the time, like in Fortnite and stuff like that.
Right.
But I only knew him as a streamer. I didn't know him for anything that he did on Disney, mainly because like he was on Disney's like shows past my childhood easily, So I didn't know him for anything like that. I also did not watch Dancing with the Stars, so I would have no idea that he won Dancing with the Stars.
Right. See, I had watched it, but I had stopped watching like seasons before he was on it. So when I Google him and YouTube him, I'm like, this guy's really freaking good.
Yeah.
I'm like
literally,
he's like crushing episode after episode, and I just get to the end.
The first night that I met Jordan was a day that like Tim hosted me. And so I hosted Jordan at the end of the day because I saw that he was playing Overwatch for like the first time. And then that night, since he was so new, I like typed up an entire document for him, like a guide for like every character in the game. And so I sent it to Jeff, his mod. If you guys don't know that, it's his manager. So I sent it to Jeff to make sure that I got to Jordan. And then that was it. I went to bed, and then yeah. Just went to sleep. Woke up the next morning. Jordan came in my chat, dropped like 100 subs, and then that night we were playing Overwatch.
Boom.
And I literally, like, at the time, I only knew him as a streamer. Okay, I had no idea. Like, Until Dawn, one of my favorite games that I've ever played, did not register in my mind that he was in.
And that's the other story that I've got. Like a few months after we had been playing Overwatch quite a bit and things like that. It was like me, Wyoming, Jordan, and somebody else was there. I can't remember. And he's like, hey, he asked me, he's like, Noble, have you ever played Until Dawn? I was like, yeah. I was like, it was a great game. I was like, my wife played through it like 3 times. She loved it. She's like, and he was like,
your favorite character?
Yeah. He's like, do you remember a character named Matt? Like, a lot of people have their favorites. Like, mine was Matt. Like, I was like, dude, that's my wife's favorite character. Like, when he died in the game, like, she cried when he died. Like, she so wanted him to like get with that one girl and survive and everything. And he's like, I killed Matt because he just died. Like, nobody survived in my playthrough. And Wyoming already knew, so he's like laughing hysterically, and I'm like, what did I do? And Wyoming's like, would you IMDb the game? And I'm like, oh, Matt, voiced by Jordan Fisher. I'm like, yeah, nailed that one, didn't I, guys? I was like, so my wife's a big fan, by the way. Like me, I'm just the idiot who
one night
keeps stepping in it.
Like, it was one of the first nights I played Overwatch with him. And again, like at this time, I didn't really know like his entire history. And then I posted like some clip because I just get fat tires all the time. So
Yeah.
I posted like some clip, like on Instagram or something, and someone DM'd me, and they're like, "Is that Jordan Fisher?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, he won Dancing with the Stars, right? And I'm like, "No, no, did not know it." And then I asked, like, I literally, like, I got that message, and I asked Jordan, like, literally in the game, I was like, "Hey, you never happened to be on Dancing with the Stars before, have you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was decent at it. Yeah." He's like,
Yeah, it was okay.
we did decently well." And
Yeah, it
I
was
was like,
fine.
"Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, weird." Like literally, I swear, like for like a month straight, I just kept on learning more and more things that he was a part of, and random people would know. They would ask me like, "Did you know he did this?" And I'm like, "I do now.
Yeah, right.
Didn't know before. I
Yeah,
do
we were
now."
watching the Disney thing a week ago, and my wife points at the TV. She's like, that's your Twitchy friend."
Does your twitchy
I was
friend?
like, yeah, yeah, that's Jordan. And
uh,
our roommate, who's, well, I say our roommate, but he's letting us stay in his house while we're getting this whole thing sorted out. He's like, "What do you mean, like Twitchy friend?" And my wife goes, "Yeah, that's the guy that you know he knows online. He plays video games with." And my friend goes, "You know that guy?" I said, "Yeah." So yeah, I've known him. We met like 8 or 9 months ago. He's a pretty chill dude. We talk, and I was like, I just played Overwatch with him for like 2 hours, like a week and a half ago. And they're like,
I mean,
"Seriously?" And I'm like,
the first
"Yeah,
question,
I did."
when uh when my mom first asked who he was, because like when I originally told her that he was the one that helped me to get enough money to go to TwitchCon, and she the first question when I told her like who he was and everything, she was like, "Why does he like you?" I was like,
Wow, mom.
"Damn, all right, well, I don't know."
Well, I'm going to TwitchCon anyway, so. But he's just, if you haven't been to a stream, or don't know Jordan or anything like that, he's honestly one of the purest, nicest, sweetest individuals that I've ever met. Like, literally just like watching his stream and how he goes about his work, it's just so, the enthusiasm that he does his work with, and the drive and the heart and everything that he puts into everything that he does, and he gives 110% all the time.
Yeah.
Even on his birthday stream today, he did live raids where he's just, dropping the love and subs, and just making people's day on his day. Like, that's the type of person that Jordan is. So, I'm proud to say that, I've known him for 9 months or so, which it feels like so much longer. And one day I will make it to a con, whether it's TwitchCon or something like that, and we'll actually, get the chance
grab
to
some dinner.
meet him, and hopefully, you're there, and we'll pop your sushi bubble, and we'll all go have a nice chat over, over some rolls, and
Oh yeah,
and have a good old time of it. But
we gotta get a dinner of us two, Wyoming, Jordan, Wubbs, Connor.
we need like a fish
Brady.
fam dinner at TwitchCon.
Yeah, just gotta get a reservation somewhere for like 20 people.
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard, when San Diego's, booked solid with everything around. Shouldn't be that hard. It's fine. But yeah, man. I mean, look, that's 4 episodes in the books already. Like, rest is actually moving quite along. And this week again, guys, it had to be on Friday because I was out of town the last 2 days, so Woody and I pushed it back a day. I think, barring any other major setback or anything, we should be back to our regular Thursday 9 p.m. Eastern slot.
Yeah, we'll be chilling.
I'm sure we'll have a whole bunch of different things. We'll follow up with Woody and his team's tournament success, see how that goes. If you're available this weekend, please go to Woody's stream and support. Check out the tournament. They said their first match is at noon Eastern tomorrow. So definitely check that out. Root these guys on. played with them enough to know that there's some like wicked talented guys here. I know Shazam used to play a lot of Counter-Strike, so he's been beasting Valorant already. And legitimately think they got a shot to win it. So, definitely be
Heck
there for
yeah.
that. And we will see you guys next Thursday at 9:00. We'll have this episode uploaded by the end of the weekend. If you haven't subscribed to the Modern Gaming YouTube channel, please do so. I know Woody's got Valorant gameplay on there. All of our podcast episodes will be uploaded on there. I've got a ton of Overwatch gameplay on there for now. I might do some Mario Maker 2 gameplay and just record a bunch of stuff and make a ton of videos and just slowly upload them. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. And we will see you next week.
See you guys.